What's going on, guys? You might be wondering, why am I sitting on the floor? But this is going to be the fourth video of the week, and I'm going to be doing 4 instead of 5 because I'm going to combine the mobility and analyzation video into one video, which will be this video. And I just wanted these videos to be kind of more informational and also helpful for you guys to maybe apply to your own routine. I'm going to go through some of the stretches I do, how I kind of take care of my knee soreness when I get knee soreness. Somebody actually commented and asked me if I can work that into one of my videos. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I do for that. And if you guys have a foam roller or anything like this, these are just 2 lacrosse balls taped together for like deep tissue work. You can grab that, and if you guys want to follow along with like the stuff I'm doing in this video, I think it can be pretty helpful. And that's what I want these videos to be, is just helpful for you guys to either take away things from the analyzation I talk about, or just the stretches I do. You guys could do like while I'm actually doing them here. If you guys or it's like in your house or something, and you guys can actually follow along with the video. But yeah, I just want to, for the analyzation part of it, I just want to talk through some aspect of my jump. With this video, I'm going to start off by talking about my first dunk progress video and actually talk about some things I noticed there by looking at that. And then next time it'll be like looking at more recent analyzations of like how I'm jumping and how my jump is changing by going for this going from the 50-inch vertical, or how I'm doing like this max jumping in these 8 weeks. So I'm gonna get into the stretching right now, and then I'll talk to the analyzation, and I'll overlay some clips throughout the video so you guys can actually see what I'm actually talking about with the analyzation stuff. But to start off, I'm gonna get into some hip and glute work, which for me is usually the sorest part of my body. So I'm just gonna start off here with the pigeon pose, just like one of my favorites. If you just put your heel on the bottom of your stomach or top of your hip, then you can just sink into it. And with these mobility days and recovery days that I'm not actually jumping, I'll do a lot more static or slow stretching, whereas like when I'm warming up for my jump, or just like doing more stuff that involves movement, like or dunking or jumping, then I'll include some more like dynamic stuff that you guys have seen with the band, or just stuff where I'm moving around more, whereas this is going to be some more static, but stuff that I think is definitely necessary and helpful for recovery. So yeah, here you can just sink into it. I like to do all these type of stretches for like 30 seconds to a minute. But if you guys want to pause the video and do it longer, if you guys if you feel like this is if you feel like it's a tight area for you, you guys can just let it rest and sink into a little longer. I'll go through this I won't speed through it, but I'll go through it a little bit quicker than I normally would actually hold a stretch for, just so you guys can see more of the routine and more of the stretches I do. So that's like what I was saying. If you guys want to pause it and do it longer, you guys can do that. But I just want to make sure I go through and give you guys like enough exercise where you guys can actually do like a full routine and get like a full mobility stretch workout from this, or stretch routine from this. And for me, my right side is definitely tighter, and which would be this side for me. Like I definitely feel this a lot more on my right, like glute, outer hip, compared to the other side. Then if I do this, I'm going to start to work on the stuff for my knee, so you guys can see what I do for that. But in terms of the analyzation, I'll just talk about that a little bit while I'm on this tighter side. But what I was noticing with my Dunk Progress Month 1 video is, honestly, it was kind of hard to watch because of just like how slow it just looked like I was moving. And I mean, it was like I wanted to shut it off, but then it was like I was just thinking like it was crazy to see the progress made since then. Like, I mean, I noticed then my approach was probably like half the speed. I didn't follow through with my arm swing very well, and the biggest thing probably was that my takeoff, I would always take off close to the rim. Like that was my biggest problem when I first started dunking, was that I would just take off way too close to the rim, and I would just lose so much momentum from that. And it wasn't until I actually started to jump farther away from the rim that I started to actually hit dunks more consistently. So that was probably one of the biggest things from looking at that dunk progress video. And I'll put the card at the top of this if you guys want to see the full Dunk Progress Month 1, which is probably, I don't think it's been a full year yet since I posted that, but it's been probably like 10, 11 months since I posted that video. And those are some of the things that I've noticed since then, is that my approach has gotten a lot faster, and I'm following through a lot more with my arm swing, really working to to get that fuller so I could actually transfer my my approach into my jump. So yeah, those are probably the biggest things from that video. But to start talking about some of the stuff I do for my knee. So since I've been jumping more, and since I'm going to be jumping more in these 8 weeks, definitely want to avoid getting any kind of like jumper's knee or anything like that. And for me, when I notice any type of knee soreness, I notice that some other aspect of my leg is tight, whether it's my quads, my hamstrings, my hips, just something. There's usually always something else that I feel tight when I get knee soreness. So what I like to start off with is actually grab, like, if you guys have the foam roller or like the lacrosse ball or something, just grab that, and I like to kind of find the crease, like where your leg meets your hip. It's like this is like your psoas or your hip flexor area, and I just like to place the lacrosse ball just like right in there. You guys will feel, or you guys, if it's tight for you guys, you should feel it. You should feel some resistance there. You guys want to like leave it there for enough time to kind of let it loosen up. And for me, since I've been jumping more, like I said, my left knee has definitely been getting some soreness. Not really my right knee as much, but for some reason my left knee has been. So definitely want to work through. Definitely want to work to keep that from having any type of pain, so I can keep jumping. And sometimes it's necessary to take some time off of jumping. Like for me, if I do like a fuller dunk session, I'll usually take like a few days in between doing like another full dunk session. And with these 8 weeks, I'm actually only going to be doing like one all-out max dunk session in the entire week, because I'm also going to be doing the max jumping. So I mean that's two types of max jumping in 1 week. So definitely want to keep that not to like a minimum, but I want to keep that efficient, and I want to make that the most optimal it can be when I'm actually when it's actually the day of either max jumping or max dunking. So that's why I'm doing this recovery video. Just kind of work this in as like, and then again show you guys some of the stuff I do for recovering, and maybe give you guys some tips or some exercises you guys can do. And these might change. Like these might not always be like this type of video. I might do like some other type of recovery that I do, whether it's like in the pool, or I mean just like anything that I think would be helpful for you guys on your recovery or mobility days, while talking through some of the analyzation type of stuff too. Okay, so after letting it sit there for a little bit, now I'll move down to my quad, and I'll usually start out with the outer part of my quad, because that's where I feel the most soreness when my knee is sore. And it's not, if you guys have ever rolled your IT band, it's not the IT band that I work on. It's actually the muscle, or like my quad muscle that sits right along that. And I'll just kind of find that spot that's pretty tight, which is right there for me. Then I'll just let this sit there for about as long as I had it on my hip. Or again, if you guys want to pause the video, let it sit for a little longer. Just if you have any tightness or any sore spot in your quad, just find that spot and then just let it sit there until you feel the muscle kind of relax and release a little bit, and then that's when I'll move on to like another spot in my quad. So after the quad, so I'll start off at the hip, which you guys just saw, or like the psoas area. Then I'll move to my quad, and then after this, I'll move to my hamstring, and then I'll do one more stretch. That is actually that I have felt has helped my knee when I have any kind of knee soreness. So again, just starting off at the outside, kind of finding any spot that's sore, and just kind of letting it sit there for like a minute or so until I feel it release. Then after you guys feel it release, it's kind of cool because I'm in like an anatomy class in school, and like we've looked at cadavers and actually seen like how the quad splits. So you have the outer one, the middle one, and now I'm going to move into the one that's more on the inside. Find the sore spot and just kind of let it sit there. Now there's also one more that you can't see, but anyway. Just keep finding the sore spots on your quad, and you guys should actually feel this like down to your knee. if you're on a spot in your quad that's sore and your knee is sore, then it's probably pretty likely that you'll find a spot in your quad that you'll also feel in your knee when you're working on it. All right, so after this, I'm gonna go into the hamstring part, which I don't like to do any type of hamstring stretch where I'm actually like leaning forward, like bending my back like this. I'll actually just sit up against something. Here, I'll just sit up against my vent right here, and just try to sit up as straight as possible, and then take the foam roller or the lacrosse ball in my case, and just kind of place it right on the crease where your glute like meets your hamstring, and then just try to push your leg out and sit up as straight as possible, and then just extend your leg as far as you can. You guys should feel this like all the way down to your hamstring to like the back of your knee. And I'll also flip this over like this if just to get some more pressure. Oh, there's one other part I'll actually work on too for my knee, and that's like my outer hip and glute with the cross ball. Yeah, so this is another spot that gets pretty sore for me is my hamstring. And then after this, I'm gonna move into this now, my outer hip. So just take the lacrosse ball or foam roller, kind of just lift up on your side, and just kind of place it right on the side of your glute and your outer hip area. And for me, this is really sore right now. So I've been doing, like I said, in these 8 weeks, I'm gonna be doing more jumping probably than I've ever done in any 8 week span. So max jumping at least in any 8 week span. So my body's definitely gonna feel it. And I've already felt differences in my body from just doing this max jumping compared to when I was doing workouts, which is, to me, it's pretty crazy because I've been working out for like a year and a half or 2 years on vertical jump training, but I haven't felt this type of soreness in my whole body from just jumping since I've been doing these workouts. So I just think it's crazy that it seems like my body's adapting to something new, but I've been training to jump for like a year and a half, 2 years. But I mean, it's good that I'm doing it now, and hopefully I'm gonna see a lot of progress from this, and you guys will see it too. Yeah, this is really sore, so you guys should feel a release. I mean, if not after like a minute or two, just let it sit there until it does, and then that's when I'll kind of move the lacrosse ball into another point that I feel sore. So I just kind of moved it. I kind of moved it up a little bit to more of my outer hip. I had it on my glute at first, and then I just moved it up to my hip. There's like another small muscle like on the front of your leg here that isn't on the side of your leg, but kind of on the front of your leg near your quad. It's like your tensor fascia latae muscle, and that's another one that sits kind of close to your IT band. So if you feel like your IT band is sore in that region, it could be that muscle. So instead of rolling your IT band, try that muscle first, which again is like right in the front. I'm kind of getting it right now with this lacrosse ball. I just turn my leg in a little bit so I can get on it. Yeah, it's really sore. So yeah, this is pretty much everything I do for knee soreness, and like I said, I usually don't experience any knee soreness unless parts of my leg, like everything I'm working on right now, is sore. So this is all the stuff I'll go through. Just kind of recap. So I started at my hip, moved down to my quad, then moved to my hamstring, then moved on to my outer hip and glute, and then I'll finish off with this last stretch, which again, just get up against like a wall, or I'm going to use this vent again, and I just get into like a lunge position, and just kind of back my knee up as far as I can get. And then just sit up here. Bring my knee a little bit. And then I also just kind of like sink my hips forward a little bit so I feel it like all in my hip flexor, my quad, even my abdomen, my obliques a little bit right here. And this is another one that after I do this, I feel a lot more mobile in my knee and my hip area. And I'm only doing my left side right now because my right knee isn't particularly sore, so I just want to show at least one side in this video so you guys can see kind of everything I go through. But if you guys have it on both sides, then definitely work both sides, and I'm going to do a little bit after this video of my right side, but just to show you guys at least one side so you guys can do it, or at least try it. Okay, so now I'm going to do some upper body stuff. That's probably my favorite lower body stuff, and I'm going to change, like I said, I want to change this stuff in the video so you guys have like some type of routine, and you guys can kind of get something new from each video. So right now I'm going to go into it's called like a child's pose, but this is really good for your outer hip. Just had some pops there. But I like to extend my arms forward as far as I can, just kind of get more of like a stretch in my shoulders and my back. Just kind of press down and get as close as I can to the floor. And then also push my hips back. Yeah, definitely try to reach and get as close to the floor as you can here so you guys could get more of a stretch in your shoulders and your back. Yeah, since I've been, like I said, since I've been doing this max jumping, I've been getting sore in parts of my body that haven't been this sore at least in a while. And parts of those areas are like my upper back, my traps. I mean, even my neck and like my hands have been sore from just doing this type of like max jumping and dunking. So it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Okay, now I'm gonna get into some walk-in. So basically, just get into like a push-up position, and then just walk your feet into your hands. And this is a really good like total body one, but I really feel this just in my legs and my arms. And you guys can do this like walking forward. I'm just doing it in place here so you guys can see it. Okay. Another good one for your hip flexor, but also for your upper body, is just getting into like a lunge position again, kind of doing similar. It's similar to what I was doing up against the vent there, but just kind of extending forward with the front leg, and then pressing up, and then also just going straight up with your arms, and then holding this. You should feel this right down your hip flexor, your abdomen. You should also start to feel like in your shoulders and your back from just staying up straight. Switch. Then I'm gonna work in a couple more upper body ones, and then that'll be it for this video. But like I said, let me know if you guys find this helpful. If you guys would want to see this in like a different format, but I want these types of videos to be a little bit longer, but just so they can be more helpful for you guys to work into your routines, or just to get some helpful information from. So Okay, so this is a good one for like your chest and your ab area. So just lay down flat and then just press up. Keep your hips and your legs in contact with the ground, and then just push up as far as you can. Don't do it too far to where you feel like pain in your back, but just kind of push it so you're at least getting a good stretch in with it. And with these static stretches, I like to sink into a little bit. Sometimes I'll add some like a bounce to it. I mean, kind of what I'm doing now, I'm just kind of like rolling back and forth just to get a little bit of movement in. Okay, and this last one I'm going to do is going to be kind of like a push-up. I'm just going to bring the knee that's on the same side of this elbow, and then just go down to like a push-up. So I'll do a few on each side so I can show you guys, but this is another good one to kind of like warm up, loosen up your chest and your upper body area. So let's press down and then meet your same elbow with the same knee. That's on, or the knee that's on the same side as the elbow. This is also good for your hips. This is a really good like all around full body one. All right, so that's it for this analyzation and mobility video. Like I said, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you guys did this along the way, let me know in the comments down below. I'm just curious as to how many people like try this while I'm actually doing the video. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do any of those, just feel free to like go back in the video, and I'm gonna do a little bit more on the right side. But I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to include at least the left side for my knee, stuff I do for my knee, so you guys can see it and work through it yourselves. But yeah, that's all I want to show with this video. Let me know what you guys thought of it, and stay tuned for the first max jump day of these 8 weeks. I'm going to be going for 10-10, which is a point I haven't hit yet, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next video.